escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. Head's gonna cover. Head's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right. Pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Friday, November the 7th. It is popping off in here right now with this full-on college basketball card today. The steam is going wild already, so stay tuned here as we get ready for a good show here with college football tonight. Of course, there's NBA Cup play, NHL as well, and we'll talk about last night, I guess. And let me just get that first one in here. I would tell you all of it that's been rolling in here, the steam this morning, but man, it is popping off in here. Bryant and Georgia Tech will get us started. I wish I could have got you caught up, but just a bunch of stale lines now. This one,
steam play.
Here's another one right here, right now with Pepperdine and UCLA tonight. This one's moving under right now at 153.5, and this one's going to be heading down here to 152. Here, Pepperdine and UCLA, steam to the under right now here on the Morning Steam Show. Bryant and Georgia Tech just came in as well at under 146. Another message coming in here. Kawhi Leonard will be questionable in his game on Saturday against Phoenix. That's no surprise. You really didn't need a bulletin on that one. Bryant and Georgia Tech also Harden questionable for that game against Phoenix. Harden and Kawhi still having some issues here, making this lineup possibly on Saturday. Bryant and Georgia Tech trying to get this one out. And this one we're seeing a move to the under here with Bryant and Georgia Tech. It was 146. We're going to see it go down to under 145 here with this move to the under. So we're going to get a lot of interruptions here, I'm sure, over the next hour. And hopefully it's something that you're looking forward to, getting that key breaking line movement here, whether you like it or not. You can always fade it as well. All right, what a game last night between the Raiders and the Broncos. Broncos win it 10-7. Truly a dreadful experience. Good thing we had the guys there to cheer us up last night with that game, man. It was pretty woeful. Denver's, though, they're 8-2. They get no quarterback play again here from Nix. They're interviewing him as the star of the game afterwards. I mean, how awkward is that? I know there was some other interviews in there mixed in, but it felt like that main interview with Bo Nix, have the graphic up there, 2 interceptions. I mean, you know, Nick Bonito is the star of this team with the Denver Broncos, man. And Will Lutz had a 32-yard field goal in the win for the eventual victory. Carson missed his long field goal attempt, and that wasn't that long. Should have been made probably with Carson's ability. But the Broncos defense, 6 sacks. These guys sack every quarterback. This is a record-setting defense, and I was thinking that the Broncos could blow these guys out, but not with an offense like that they had there yesterday. They're not going to cover those numbers. So, yeah, those dog players had it right for sure, because that wasn't going to have any score happening. I thought Nix was the man. That's what I've got people in my ear telling me. This Bo Nix, one of the best upcoming quarterbacks. Watch out. He's going to keep getting better. This guy's in the bottom quarterbacks of the league for sure right now. Held to just 150 yards passing. I understand were very rugged conditions. It looked like a lot of those passes were floating. We were complaining about it. The wind was taking the ball for sure. It was a factor last night. But they put the beat down on Geno and practically knocked him out of the game. They did knock him out of the game there a couple of times. It seemed like right there. So Broncos are hot. They win these close games. That's all you need. They outgained the Raiders by 30 yards. It was a terrible game, a bunch of penalties as well. The Raiders scored on a 41-yard drive, second possession into the game, but the rest of the game, the Raiders averaged about 2 yards per play and 0 points. Denver kept getting 3 and outs, but they did get the win. So let me hear from you in the chat and how to go with you guys last night. Hopefully you were with us in the live stream there. And also, thanks for everyone who's going to comment here in the chat today and make you eligible for free selections from me. Hopefully we get them straight here. Tennis is getting going here right now with some exciting action, especially on the ladies' side here today. And other sports action today as well. But here comes some more steam. So let me pass along just another quick one to you. North Carolina State is getting steamed right now here at the books. That's game number 730. North Carolina State. They were a 17-point favorite. They're going up to 20. The steam's rolling in on these games right now. NC State. This was a game I was going to give out. I might have to go to the total right now. I had NC State on my target list right here against UAB. But right now, they are up to 21 right now at Circa. Man, this thing's going through the roof. I know NC State's going to roll these guys, but that's a 4-point move right there for NC State this morning. Circa opened this game 15.5. Bet Online opened at 14. Is this a football game? No, because NC State would be favored by probably 28 points. But nonetheless, NC State's getting steamed here right now, big time. On the morning steam show, Nuke is here, Jim Duweiger is here, and oh my goodness, Nuke, what is going on? We can't be having that. Oh man, I feel bad. I mean, maybe it was part my fault here, giving picks out on the morning steam show. I mean, I didn't come through in that college football game. I mean, in that pro football game last night. We did have the winner in both college games, as I had the over in that UTSA South Florida game. Man, South Florida got on them real quick, and they put up. They had 35 points in the first 20 minutes of the game, South Florida. And we also had Georgia Southern to cover that number against Appalachian State last night. So we did go 2-0 here on the show with college football, at least yesterday. And Georgia Southern actually won that game 24-23. So, oh, man, I don't like Irish King is here today. And also, that's right.
Final.
And let's see, Pittsburgh. How about Pittsburgh? The hockey results yesterday. Certainly can touch on those. I remain pretty hot on the ice here on the Morning Steam Show. Yesterday we had, with our picks here on the show, Montreal and New Jersey game to go over. We won that one here on the show, the Wild in Carolina, and that 4-3 win for Carolina. We had the over there as well. We had the Penguins. It wasn't easy after the big lead, but they did go on to win it 5-3. Also had the Ducks on the puck line, but should have had them on the money line. They rolled Dallas in a huge over. I know Mikey Money had that one, 7-5. Ducks over the Stars. We also had the under and the Flyers and the Predators there yesterday for a winner here on the show. And late night with the games here. Let's see. Vegas took it on the chin last night. Didn't hit that one for sure, but Man, what a stunner as the Lightning came in and put it on the Golden Knights last night. I was watching that one for sure during late in the football game there. So, all right, let's see who else is rolling here. Broncos and under, said Cash Kane. They got it done. Broncos money line and the under. He also swept the hockey. Flea Mathis is here. Greg says TCU and Miami scored over 100 points. What is going on here? Good morning to Greg. Hey, everyone. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Greg talking Auburn here, South Florida, says they're 55-23. What a rout that was. I guess we're kind of on the right side there, or the right total there, but really thought UTS, I kind of was doubting South Florida here. Jim's ready for some CFL action. Also, Irish King here. Hey, the thing about parlays is when you think you've got an advantage on the line or on the bookmaker, sometimes you should parlay, to be honest with you. All right, Greg here says North Carolina's money tonight. That's our big college game, of course. We're going to focus on that. I picked out a few other college games. I don't know what games to pick right now with some of these crazy matchups, but it seems like it doesn't matter right now. I know the picks on my premiums there weren't great, but we did hit some great college plays here on the show, certainly yesterday. So at least we'll take that. I mean, no disrespect, but we did have Quinnipiac here on the show yesterday on the morning steam. And I know we had, Iowa State. Mikey had Iowa State. Man, did they ever roll against Grambling there? We had North Florida and Florida game to go under there on the show yesterday as well. And how about the late game? This is one I had a loss, I got to say, in the premiums, but Mercyhurst, one of the lowest rated teams in the country, probably they were 6 from the bottom in KenPom heading into yesterday. They lost to Loyola Chicago they beat Loyola Chicago, a 23-point dog, and Mercyhurst really put the beat down there on them late last night in that one. It was Mercyhurst 73, Loyola Chicago 75, as Mercyhurst, one of the worst teams in the country, is a 23-point underdog, got the win. Went off at 21.5 actually there in that game. So that was a bizarre result for sure. Also had some added board game wins here. I know Mikey Money had that under. We were hooting and hollering about it there with Campbell in West Virginia. He had that under there in that game as that steam came home from yesterday as well. All right, see who else is hanging out in the chat. Blues for Cash Kane yesterday. Greg said Denver, they were tired. Primetime games. You know how it is. Tariq is here this morning, ready to go. All right. Bobby Mack had the Raiders. App State didn't come through there for Cash Kane. And thanks, Greg. Saw you in there. I don't have control over the I can't really type too much on the because otherwise it just comes up saying I'm Sports Money. So I can't really type in the chat on the shows. I guess I could bring up another monitor or another screen and put on YouTube chat. They always give me a hard time. I use all my screens for game watching. They're like, Ramon never likes the video. I love every video. Furman -3 against Troy. I think we've got that one in the previews. I will say this about the Furman game there, Tariq, is that just as I was coming on the air, the steam came in on the over in that Furman and Troy game. We will preview it, but it moved. It moved higher right away. Here comes one right now. Valparaiso taking the steam in their matchup tonight with Kentucky. Really? Are you really going to trust Valpo here? They were getting 34 points, but this one's going down immediately right now as Valpo is taking the steam here against Kentucky. It's down to 32 at circa 2-point drop here on Valpo, taking the steam against Kentucky. Well, Valpo's a pretty good program. Maybe they'll hang in there tonight. All right. Ducks, man, did they ever score? There's Dylon in the chat and Penguins and Ducks. That was no minus 10,000, I'll tell you that. Great job. Got to take those quacky birds, Penguins and Ducks. All right, let me make sure we're all fired up and ready in the chat too. I'm going to make sure we all are eligible for the drawing here at the end of the show to win some free plays from me from winnable.com. And I also want to take a look here at the algorithm, see which one of you guys are the hot commenters here this morning. And I think that wraps it up. Let me give a little bit of news out or whatever's interest, because my Padres named a new manager yesterday, and it was a bit of a surprise in Padre land for sure. Now, there were some people who did, maybe some of my Padre insiders that commented a couple years ago that Craig Stammen is a manager material, and could it ever happen in San Diego? And people kind of laughed it off. Why would you but listening to this guy, I put an interview with him. I'm not very religious, but I am spiritual, and I listened to an interview with Stammen. He's definitely relies on his faith to guide him a little bit, and maybe that's what this team needs right now. The former Padre and Washington pitcher who spent 13 years in the major leagues was an assistant to Preller over the last 3 years, wasn't really even a candidate necessarily, although he did express interest in the job, and he sat through some of the interviews, some of the Zoom calls anyway, with some of the early managerial prospects, including Albert Pujols. He was in as a possibility to be the manager of the team, and also Ruben Niebla, the pitching coach, and one other candidate out there as well. But they ended up taking Stammen as the manager. He's never managed in his career, so he's going right from the major leagues to the front office, back to the dugout to manage the Padres on a 3-year deal. This guy's got high character, but no, managerial experience. Players lauded the move. They were pretty much stoked. I don't know if the Dominican guys were, but generally, Musgrove came out and endorsed the situation. So we'll see. Hopefully he knows. I mean, he does know the culture of the team there, obviously. So that was a news that I noted yesterday. Also, we were on the air yesterday morning when we heard about that shocking news there of the passing of the Dallas Cowboys player. Man, was that ever a bummer. And then we were also there on the air when you guys brought up that Spoelstra's house burned down, and now he's back home as they get ready to play tonight. All right, let's see who else is here. Then we'll get started with the show. But just want to mention you can get more picks from me today, and you're going to want to over at winnable.com. I've already fired out a pick. I want to start getting ahead of some of these markets in college basketball. So I think you can expect maybe one package of overnight releases as I try to beat these lines. It is interesting that a couple plays have moved already today, mostly in our favor. So get ready for that. We'll have more, especially when we get to the big weekend cards, and I got to get that information published out of there with those huge cards and all the shows that go on. So like I said, I almost had trouble getting on the air today. There was so much exciting steam coming in that I wanted to take advantage of, or also check out those markets. So all right, and let's see who else is here, and otherwise we'll get ready for the show. But there's winnable.com/Ramon, and use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. My monthly package is $19.99 or $95, I think. And if you use the promo code, that takes it down to $16. And if you do subscribe for 1 month, I always put on 5 weeks on there. So basically comes out to 40 cents a day. If you like these shows and want to receive a little bit more timely information as well, go ahead and hit me up over at winnable.com/Ramon. You'll get more plays from me sent right to your phone. You can set notifications on your phone or your email, and also get my tennis action. And that's going right now. We're just getting ready for the big matches here this week. We got Nori and Sonego set to go here at the bottom of the hour. So check that out. Thanks. All right, I'm still a little behind in all of your comments, but want to thank everybody for coming along. Greg Gibbs talking about this exciting college schedule. I don't even know if I have the Georgetown, Maryland game. I was on another channel previewing that one last night. I kind of came in with some different games here, but we can make another pick on that game maybe. Let me know. Don't let me forget about that because I always do. The weather's changing. Cliff Floyd, hello. And Phoenix, yeah, at least we had one there yesterday on the NBA. We had one game. There's the NBA recap, right? NBA recap right now with the Suns and the Clippers. I think I had the over on the show here yesterday. And is Xavier? Oh gosh, Xavier is never over. Are they always overrated, or are they never overrated? Take Buffalo, chosen one. Hello, and yeah, Nealon there. Thank you, Irish King. Like that was disrespectful of me to call them the Cowboys player. A little bit of steam here, real quick. I'm gonna put the yesterday's games aside and go to tonight's card where there's some steam coming in right now in the game between Fort Wayne and Ohio State. Really? Fort Wayne and Ohio State? Steam to the over? Go figure. Maybe they think it's IU Indianapolis. Wasn't that a unique game yesterday? Probably should mention that in the intro here. Also, with the game between Long Island and IU Indianapolis. That was the one that the books didn't even open the game up for the longest time. I actually wanted to preview it on the show, but the line wasn't out. And I mentioned it just in passing, right, yesterday, because as it did come out, that line was put on the board, and it opened like 180. It closed 185. Everybody knows this IU Indianapolis team is very similar. You hear people commenting saying, oh, it's kind of like the old Loyola Marymount teams of the, back with the Bo Kimball and Hank Gathers when they'd run up those scores. And I equated them to the USIU team. You look at this team, United States International University. They've got a whole crazy story behind them as to how they used to run up the scores behind Coach Gary Zarsky, who was a high school coach when they hired him at USIU, and he said, we're just going to run. And they lost practically every game, but they took headlines because they were scoring over 140 points per game, usually giving up 160. But so that game ended up there with Long Island knocking off IU Indianapolis, but kind of beat them at their own game there yesterday. But anyways, this one was Fort Wayne and Ohio State. They hit 163, and this one's going higher already to 164 and a half with IPFW and Ohio State, not to be confused with IU Indianapolis, which is actually IUPUI, but they changed that last year to IU Indianapolis. You got all this, right? You guys are experts. I don't need to talk down or anything like that. Hey, there's some steam coming in right now on Longwood. We're seeing Longwood taking the steam here. This morning they are playing Pitt, and Longwood was getting 17.5, but this one's going down for sure. Here is Longwood is taking the steam here against Pittsburgh right now. This one's on the added board, and we're seeing right now that game has gone to 15.5 at circa. So 2-point move there. Longwood taking that steam for sure right now. Also, this just in, Georgia Tech forward Baye Ndongo, one of your favorites. He's questionable for tonight's game against Bryant. We've already seen that steam come in on that game. Dropped it from 146 down to all the way down here to 141. That one started steaming a long time ago with the absence likely here of Ndongo tonight for Georgia Tech against Bryant. Man, are we ever going to start the show here? All right. Cash King, are we going to get more one-goal games here? M the Great is here as well. How's Pepperdine doing tonight? We already saw a huge move on that game, Timmy. Pepperdine, they were getting 27.5 from UCLA, and then they hit it. And right now it's all the way up to UCLA here at minus 30.5. It was 27.5, but UCLA got steamed earlier, and so did the under in that game from 153 down to 151.5 at Circa right now. The steam came in on the under in that game as well. Thank you, Timmy. And how about Ohio State first half today in that game against Fort Wayne? All right. Yeah, we can't say, right, Terrell? I mean, why do they do that? That we had great marketing, right? IU Indy, though. But hey, if I'm IU Indy right now, I capitalize on Indy, right? And I'm right racing. I've got the team that races up the court. How's that? Wine Time can appreciate that. Wine Time is playoff night for Wine Time and I. The high school playoffs start tonight. I'm going to have a long night here, but looking forward to it. Okay, we got to start, you guys. You guys are awesome. We got a ton of information coming in as well. I'm trying to give it all to you here on the Morning Steam Show. We're actually starting, I think, with college football, believe it or not. And so we got to get rolling with it. And I will say this, once we get to that college basketball, we're going to see some of the line moves I typed the line in probably a couple hours ago and felt like, man, all those lines are stale, and I was going to just change it, and then all the steam came rolling in. All right, Wake Forest forward Cooper Schweiger, he's questionable with an ankle injury tonight. All right, here we go. I'm trying to get to the college football with you guys and get rolling with the show here. We'll start it off. Houston and Central Florida. Is Central Florida moved to a 1-point favorite right now? I thought it was a pick 'em. Let me see what's going on here. No, you know what I'm actually showing? It's either a pick 'em or Houston's actually the favorite right now. Let's call it a pick 'em. In this one, I don't really see Central Florida favored anywhere. College basketball steam, real quick here. This is going to happen a lot, guys. Hopefully you can multitask with me. If you've got ADD, we're going to have a problem here probably. Wagner was getting 23 from Seton Hall, and they're taking the steam right now. Wagner looks like they're going to down to 21.5 or 21. Wagner is taking the steam against Seton Hall. A lot of matchups up there. All right. Let me get back to it here with I want to get to Houston and Central Florida. They tell me Central Florida's got those space suits ready to go here. I could only think of them jumping around like they're on the moon, but it will be the old space game here. They told me they're 8-0 wearing these uniforms. Is that right? With Central Florida. Man, I want to see that. Houston comes in here off of that upset loss to West Virginia, but hey, we were pointing to West Virginia in that game, said it might be a little bit of a rough spot, but it was costly because that pretty much sealed the fate of the Houston Cougars, costing them their chance at any kind of conference title here for sure, and the playoffs as well. But they're going up against a UCF team that, man, people were betting them like they knew the result of the game, but they got beat down by Baylor in that game. Now Houston comes in 7-2. Central Florida comes in 4-4 as they both come in off of a loss here, but Houston is 3-1 against the spread on the road this season. 3-2 is Central Florida at home. Look, Central Florida is a more explosive team here, right? Houston may have maybe the coaching edge here, but it feels like Central Florida has the personnel in this game. Man, this one's rated even here. So Houston is 4-0 on the road this season and doing a great job. UCF here, though, 4-1 at home overall. So if you guys want to comment from in the chat, and we'll see with this one with Houston and Central Florida total here sitting. Oh, where's my graphic? 47.5 right now. There we go. Sorry about that, gang. So this one's dropped here probably about 2 points off of the opener and moved down here to 47.5 in this one. So see what you guys have here with Houston and UCF. Houston comes in here with 7 losses in the last 9 games against Central Florida overall. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. And here we go. With Nuke says, can you bet on high school? But no, in fact, Nuke, the only place where I really ever see any lines is at Bet Online, and it's really got to be the biggest games of the season, the championship games, the high-profile games that come up every week. There's usually 1 or 2 games a week that have some national interest. But Vegas is actually very, very strict with their betting laws here, more so than the rest of the country, and especially now under the federal, all of these companies, the exchanges that are coming in, they're kind of circumventing the laws and going into states that really aren't supposed to have betting. They won't even touch. Well, Kalshi is in Nevada, but Kalshi is ready to take on all comers, obviously. But the other prediction markets are not coming into to Nevada right now, to my knowledge. Okay, Charleston is money tonight. Wine Time loves Central Florida here. I do too, Wine Time. I mean, we're on them here. It does seem like a bit of a mismatch. So Purdue here. Let's see. Connecticut to cover. You guys are talking about some other games I don't even know sometimes. I know we're talking hoop. Houston, though, for 9 legacy. And yeah, Nuke, the thing is on the high school bets, like at Bet Online, the minimum, I mean, it's like a $50 is all you can get down on the game. I guess you could buy them with a 20. You might get something out of it. Actually, I'll give Bet Online some credit. Some of the larger championship games, I think you can get up to $220 on them. Actually, if Dave Mason watches this show, I know all the bookmakers watch this program over other programs. So just know that, you guys. All right, Houston for Tariq. Greg has it as a close one here. And good point, Wine Time. You're right. Some of those guys who are already going to schools have already bagged some of their dough. All right. Tariq said that DeAndre liked UCF. Yeah, I like him too here. I went to the total on that show because DeAndre, we give him. He's the star of that show. I'm the host. All right. And for me, I am on Central Florida here. Let's go Knights. Say, man, if they're wearing these space suit uniforms tonight, maybe that is going to be the secret weapon here. They're 4-0, and they're wearing the spacesuit uniforms, and they've never lost them, and this is a toss-up? Man, that seems like a good thing. I think it's those black ones, right? It's those black jerseys. Right? Oh, okay. No, I see them here now. Okay, is that really them? Okay, I guess, is this it right here, you guys? Is this the right one? Is that what they're wearing tonight down there? I just thought it was interesting that when DeAndre mentioned it, that, you're playing Houston, and Houston is known as major lineman. I know, Orlando these are the two space cities, right? I mean, Houston, Orlando. So interesting they chose Houston. Do they always play it in this game when they play Houston and wear these? I didn't even know this, and I'm supposed to be knowing it all. So that sounds cool, but I'm taking Central Florida for more reasons, for the offense here, right? That's right, Terrell. That's why you and Terrell, I only take 3 days off a year, and you know what those days are. Okay, Houston looked bad against BYU. Yeah, I'm going to go with Central Florida. All right, let's keep it. Robert's got the under. Okay, here we go. Tulane and Memphis. Hey, this is a big game here, man. This is a marquee. That first game's not too bad, but how about this one? this is like one of the games of the year here for this conference. Here's the funny thing about it, right? With Memphis, they were the number 12 team in there in the college football playoff numbers on Monday, right? You had all the SEC, you had every other team. The top 25 teams were all power conference team, power 4 teams, right? All 25. Memphis didn't even make the top 25, but the rules state you got to have one team from the group of 5 conferences. Memphis is the top team right now here after the results last weekend, and they are in the college football playoff. Technically, Memphis has a better chance to get in the college football playoff than many teams that are better than Memphis, right? For sure. A lot of teams that are mired in the, third place, fourth place, fifth place, where they've either got to get on a run, win all their games, win the conference championship, and then still hope they get in because you know what? If one of these teams has 2 losses, they still might win the conference championship. Okay, we know how it goes, but I'm just saying, Memphis, North Texas, Boise State, and I'm talking up San Diego State. I don't think they're going to get in there. If they had to play Georgia, they would lose 72-0. But San Diego State's got to, they could win it. They're playing well enough to win out their schedule. They have to beat Boise, and they have to, they have to win the conference championship game as well. But if these other teams, Memphis loses here or North Texas, it could even be San Diego State. They have a better chance. Just making a point. They'll get killed. But San Diego State has a better chance than a lot of these third place, fourth place, fifth places teams in the Big Ten, in the SEC, in the ACC, because of the fact that it is just an easier path. You only have to get through about 3 or 4 teams. These other teams that are just marginal behind those top 4, there's about 8 teams right now, right? Remember what I said. I think the first poll is the most important, and you can ignore all the others. But the chaos could allow, other teams to sneak in there. Here's some college basketball steam real quick. Tennessee Tech and Charlotte. Tennessee Tech and Charlotte. We're seeing a move to the under here. It was 151. Now it's going to go down to 149 or lower here for sure with Tennessee Tech and Charlotte. We're seeing a big move here right now to the under in that one. All right, we'll get back to it though. And I'm talking Tulane and Memphis football here. Tulane, that was a costly loss last week for Tulane when they lost to UTSA. It hurt their chances and ended their 3-game winning streak. As for Memphis, all of a sudden now they've won 2 and covered 2 in a row. They're best spread team in the country at 8-1 right now, 4-0 to the 4-0 against the spread at home, 6-1 against the spread as a favorite. Meanwhile, Tulane is 1-3 against the spread at home, despite having a good record so far, 6-2 straight up. They're actually kind of, probably a little bit overrated, but if the playoffs started today, Memphis would be at Georgia. And I don't think that the Tigers are safe in that position because they play 3 very tough games, and it starts right here against this Tulane team. Tulane's played a much tougher schedule coming in here, and seems like they're the team that's getting bet here right now. I mean, this game opens
urgent message
7, and it's now 3.5 here. At some spots, right? DraftKings is 3.5. BetOnline's 3.5. There's some 4s out there, so the value is on Memphis here for sure, and it's just been an avalanche of money here on Tulane. And can you stomach it if you are willing to take Tulane in this game? That you're not getting the best of it unless you already took it. You go ahead in the chat, tell me you took the good number here. Don't forget, Tulane head coach John Summerall, he continues to be such a hot candidate right now for a lot of jobs, maybe just including the job right at LSU, possibly, maybe. What do you think? So, all right, let me know what you got though in this one, because this one definitely has some intrigue now coming in, right? And you tell me what you think in the game between Memphis and Tulane. I mean, you got Retzlaff. Retzlaff's dropped off for sure a little bit, but Tulane here. Let's see.
Final.
Memphis 1-5 against the spread as a home favorite of 8 or less. Okay, I'm going to your comments here. Here we go.
Steam play.
One steam move here, and I'll get to your comments. Virginia is taking the steam here right now. This one will be interesting, right? They're taking on North Carolina Central. The total in that game is like 153.5. This is Virginia. Now, I know Virginia against North Carolina Central is not like Virginia against any other team that is, a conference game, for example, or even against another top four conference, top Power 5 school, because the game will, definitely not be 153. You expect Virginia to score a lot. They're getting steamed here right now from 32 up to probably 34 or so right now in the game against NC Central. Still, you'd think Virginia can stymie anyone at any time and really keep them down. But like I said, that 153 is a pretty high total considering what Virginia usually does to you. But it just might be, that big of a difference that maybe it still goes high. I'm not sure it will, but let's see if I can get that exact number here for you right now in that one. And currently that line is at 35.5 now at Circa. So we saw a 3.5 point move there with that steam on Virginia just now. Okay, here we go. Tulane is terrible, says Greg. They are 6-2 this season, but we're in this one. And Wine Time says we need but who decides it then? Wine Time, the committee or something? And do we ever stick one of those teams in there? How do we get the money to? I didn't get to make the joke last week when Washington State played Oregon State in that football. No one did anyone do that like a shtick where you're like, here it is, the Pac-2 championship, Oregon State and Washington State, the last ever Pac-2 championship game. Who's gonna win it? Memphis might lose outright tonight. Oh man, Robert likes Tulane here still, despite going off here with losing the number here for sure. Greg says Ole Miss beat Tulane by 20, so they got to be overrated.
Notice.
And that's an SEC team, though, certainly. Robert says go under. Here's Tulane and under. Nuke is on Memphis here. Memphis was just in the top 25, and then they lost. They shouldn't be. Oh, Greg, the top 25, you might be looking at the media poll, the AP poll. I believe they are in the AP poll. The top 25 in the I don't believe they were in the top 25 in the official college football playoff top 25. I think they were left out of that poll. So maybe that's where the discrepancy, and interesting, right? That like Wine Time said, and if you talk about the top 25 team, Memphis isn't even in the committee's eyes even worthy of not just top 12, but they had to put them in because one team is going to get in.
Final.
All right. He says they lost to U.S. No, Memphis beat. We're talking Memphis here. Yeah, Memphis won that game against USF, right? It was 34th. It landed right on the number, 3 or 3.5. I don't remember. I don't ever remember. Yeah, they lost to UAB, right? That was the first game for Mortensen. I was happy for UAB for sure. Jordy's on Memphis. They haven't played anybody, says Greg. That's why they're 6-2. They beat Army. They beat ECU. They beat Tulsa. They're in this conference, Greg. You can't control. They're in this conference. All right. That's it for that one. And hey, for me, I am taking Memphis here tonight. I'm taking the Tigers here. I don't want them to. I don't want them to win. I want them to lose. I don't know why I'm rooting for San Diego State to get in there, but
Steam play.
Here comes a bunch of steam, you guys. I got to call it out here. Liberty just got steamed in the college basketball right now. They were a 7.5-point favorite, and here we go. Liberty is your team to look at right now, and they're getting pressed up here to a 8.5-point favorite right now at many of the books. Liberty just took the steam against College of Charleston, and seconds before that, another move here with VMI and Southern Indiana. VMI and Southern Indiana steam came in on this one on the over here. It was 152, but the steam came rolling in on VMI and Southern Indiana. And right now it is
Final.
153.5 in that one. Going up. Cactus Black, hello, nice to see you. Cactus Black in the chat. That's cool to have you in there. Oh, throw in a cough for you. All right. Here we go right now. Oh, I got one more game, and it's not bad. It's not awful. Might be better than that NFL game last night. Northwestern, Ohio State's getting steamed right now, you guys, in that game. You guys already talked about it, the game against Fort Wayne. We already talked about that steam that came in, and now Ohio State is getting steamed. They were a 22-point favorite, and right now, here goes the line. It's on the move. There it goes, and it's now 24.5 at Bet Online. This game has just moved 2.5 points here with some steam this morning. Ohio State is taking the steam here right now. It's still 22 minus 20 at Bovada and 22 here at a couple books in Vegas if you hurry. But right now, Ohio State just took the steam, and that's why you're here with me on the Morning Steam Show. I am going to talk here, though. Northwestern and USC football. Northwestern, hey, they were on a little bit of a roll there before they ran into Nebraska in Lincoln, lost 28-21. But man, they were hot. They beat UCLA, they beat Penn State in that huge upset on the road. They shut out Purdue. Northwestern's playing pretty darn good football. It's tough to go into Nebraska. They still hung in there. I mean, it was a 7-point spread, and well, it was pretty much a push. Northwestern's 5-2-1 against the spread this season, but USC is 3-1 against the spread at home. They also just played Nebraska in their last game. I should mention that the Northwestern-Nebraska game, Northwestern's in off of a bye, but USC here, they did play Nebraska last week in Lincoln and won that one 21-17. Very similar, right? Has Nebraska just so predictable, whatever the spread? Yeah, they almost are. But this one landed 21-17 as a 4.5-point favorite. The Huskers actually got the money there in that one as a home dog, remember. And before that, SC played their Notre Dame game and got beat, but they did beat Michigan. What an up-and-down season for these guys right now. The Trojans coming in here at 6-2, but hey, those losses just happened. Notre Dame and Illinois, right? The game on the road when they were favored, and Illinois not too bad. So, what do you think here though with SC laying 14.5 points at home with the? Well, they're not exactly 100% here, right? Let's see what the injury list looks like. I'm showing right now. Even Bovada's up to 15 a little bit here right now. Zacharias Williams, he's questionable this week. And for Northwestern, Tate Crane questionable, Braden Blewett questionable. So I'm not too worried about the injury front. But I am worried about getting you the latest steam move here with Southeast Louisiana and UL Lafayette basketball game here tonight on the added board. And we're seeing a move to the under in the game between Southeast Louisiana and Louisiana Lafayette. It was 141. Heck, we're down to 139 here. Or, oh man, this thing's even lower here right now with the this matchup. It was 141. The steam's come rolling in here on this one. Southeast Louisiana and UL Lafayette. And it's down here to 138.5 here. So 2.5-point move to the under. Also just seconds ago. Here comes some steam on. VMI, we just talked about it, right? So they're breaking down this one. They just took the over, right, with VMI in Southern Indiana. Now they're steaming VMI, the road favorite. They were probably a 1.5 point favorite, but now VMI is taking this road steam here right now, and we're seeing this one move higher with VMI now a 2.5 point favorite at Bet Online, 2.5 also at DraftKings, 2.5 at Circa. So there's a move on VMI. All right, Northwestern and USC. I'm going to finish it off here, and I got to take the Purple Cats here. I think they're playing well enough. I mean, come on, they've shown some big-time resilience here. That Penn State game was awesome. They did shut out Purdue at home, and it was a tough trip to Nebraska. But SC, I don't know if they're 3-1 at home so far, but 3-4 against the spread as a favorite. Give me the Purple Cats here tonight with Northwestern. Take those points. Let's see what you guys had in the chat. And Greg says the Trojans get this one easy here, and he's got it. He's got them. Northwestern got to be that bad to get 14 points. It might be a little bit of tradition here too. I mean, Northwestern, they've had, they go up and down from season to season. Sometimes they come up out of nowhere. And remember with Fitzgerald, they'd have always a magical season every few years, it seems like. But SC, you're supposed to always expect them in to be there. But Timmy Two says maybe I will take them. Greg says USC to roll Northwestern here. My life took a turn when I didn't get accepted to Northwestern or Syracuse, and now I am here with you guys and couldn't imagine anything else. Bam Adebayo's out Friday for Miami. I think we knew that coming, but Bam's out tonight. Robert's on the over. And Terrell says we still got that football here. College basketball, maybe some VCU there. Greg says USC going to be blowing them out. And Toucan is here. Thank you, Toucan. This is probably our EuroLeague coverage. I'm not even sure I'll be getting around to EuroLeague baskets here today, but how about it from Toucan? He saved the show here with Zalgris. Over 171 right now, Zalgris and Valencia today. Thank you, Toucan. That might be our coverage right there. Thank you, Toucan. That's it for college football. Let's keep it moving here right now and get into the baskets. Go to the NBA. With a big card here. This is NBA Cup action here tonight. Some teams haven't played even their first game in the NBA Cup. For some teams, it will be their second game in the NBA Cup. So it's a little bit of a handicapping angle, I guess, right? At this point, every team pretty much has a chance to still win the NBA Cup, although you could be down one game here right now. Dorian Prince is going to be questionable here for Milwaukee. That one coming in right now. Let's see what else is going on with this one with Cleveland and Washington to start us off. The Cavs are a big favorite, of course, here by 13.5. The total 240.5 here. Got some steam though here real quick. Longwood and Pitt. Longwood already got steamed from 17.5 here down to right now. The steam's coming down the total, but Longwood originally got steamed from 17.5 down to 16 or 15.5, and now here comes the steam here to the under right now with Longwood and Pitt. It was 149, but Circa is all the way down to 147 right now in this one. Steam on the under, Longwood and Pitt.
Steam play.
Also, seconds ago, here it comes, Bucknell and St. Mary's. We're seeing some steam here to the over. It was 143.5 here with Bucknell and St. Mary's, but right now we're seeing this one on the rise to 145 with Bucknell and St. Mary's. Looks like about a 1.5, 2-point move right now, Bucknell and St. Mary's. Okay, Washington comes in here with a big-time losing streak right now. We know that they're 1-7 here currently. Cleveland's cleaned it up here a little bit. They're up to 5-3 right now, following a pair of wins last time out against the Sixers. They didn't cover though in that one either. Same kind of spread, but they were on the road in that. They were at home in that one. Here they are on the road. Yale is getting steamed here right now. Yale just took the steam in that game against Navy. I was setting this one up for the preview, and I'll still cover it because I do like the total here in this one. But Yale was a 5.5 point favorite, but right now Yale is getting steamed, and they are up here right now to 7 at circa. So a bit of a move here on Yale this morning. Steam on the Bulldogs. All right, so here for Washington, yeah, they're on a losing, not only on the losing streak, they're not covering anything here right now. Absolutely dreadful. But the thing is, Cleveland, they're kind of been favored in all their games so far, so they're just 2-6 against the spread. So it's kind of the lesser of two evils here. Cleveland starting to win, starting to put it back together, laying a big number, but they're not really covering. 1-3 against the spread on the road. Washington's 0-3 at home against the spread, 1-6 against the spread as an underdog this season. So, I don't know what you might use for the criteria here to determine. Now, I will say Cleveland does come in here so far. This is their second game. They are 0-1 in the NBA Cup. Washington is 0-0. So their first game here in the NBA Cup for the Wizards. These two teams, Washington has lost 6 straight and failed to cover in 6 straight games against Cleveland. Cleveland's usually blown these guys out here for sure, but this is just a bushel full of points here right now against a team that's not really covering. Go to the chat and see what you guys have after I tell you real quick. Another steam move. I told you it's going to be a lot. Duquesne is getting steamed here right now in their matchup with Sacred Heart. Duquesne was a 10.5 point favorite, maybe 11, but right now it's being steamed. Duquesne in this one up to right now 12. So about a point move there. Duquesne gets steamed here. It may go higher. Okay, let me get your plays here, gang, on this one. Everything's flying. The pen's flying. The pen's dropping. Here we go. It's a chaotic morning, but this is it. I mean, this is what it's all about, college basketball, okay? Here we go, Joe. Yeah, I wanted to go one of those journalism schools, but you know what? I just guess I wasn't good enough. And I just didn't want to, I was upset. All right. Friday is a day for the favorites now, says Greg. Wizards in the points, or does it Sharps? Yeah, right. What do you do here? Or maybe Wizards money line. Greg says, I think he likes the Cavs here to get it done in this one. And Wizards, right, maybe first half because they get really tired and weak here. But, man, can Cleveland really just bash them here? Cavs on the spread for cash game. College basketball steam coming in here right now with UL Monroe and Ole Miss. They had already steamed Ole Miss in this game earlier. They steamed them up from as low as 31.5 was the opener at BetOnline. Right now it's 36.5. It got steamed earlier, but the steam just came in on this game on the under in Monroe and Ole Miss. Steam on the under here has made this one drop from 152 down to 151, 153 at Bovada down to 151.5 here. So a little bit of steam on the under Monroe and Ole Miss. Wizards might be tanking already. I mean, how many years can you tank? I mean, they never can get it going, right? Cavs can cover this spread on the road. And Timmy says this one's a perfect game to rig. No one will be paying attention. All right. Yeah, Sonny, they said it was his girlfriend had called his girlfriend had called the police. Maybe they had a argument of some kind, and she said that she even said, she's worried that he's feeling suicidal. So we don't know. But man, why does it always happen to the football players? It seems like I know mental it runs through everybody. It runs through all of us, right? It's all got to be strong. All right. You guys keep me strong. If I didn't come on and do this show, man, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. So make sure you're picking up my plays. Wizards team total under for Fernando. Yeah, I am going on the Cavaliers here actually in this game. I'm going to take the Cavs to cover a big old number here over Washington. What are you going to do? We don't even need to discuss it. Celtics and Magic. We've seen some action here, 3.5 to 26.5 right now with the Magic and the Celtics. The injury front has been peaking a little bit here this morning, trying to get it straight to see what we got here. But let's see. Mo Wagner, he's still out. But other than that, I think of the long-term injuries that we know about, I don't know if there is a lot of news to worry about here in this game, actually. We know Boston's had all kinds of struggles. In fact, if anything, though, this might be as healthy as Boston's kind of been, coming in. Xavier Tillman's out, but let's see how you guys have it. And just feels like some of these guys that were having some injury woes are kind of making the lineup here right now. So let's see what you got, though, in this one with Boston taking on Orlando. Boston coming in here right now 4-5, but they did win last time out. Orlando's won 2 of 3, but they did lose at Atlanta. Got blown out there after a couple of wins over Washington and Charlotte. That's not going to make you jump up and down necessarily. All right, here, guys, one of the early games, I kind of got it previewed, but here comes the steam right now in the game between Columbia and New Haven. That was going to be my play, actually, so I want to just say it right now. Columbia and New Haven, we are seeing some steam here to the under at 151.5, and it is going down here right now, so down to 148 right now at Circa. Oh, my goodness. My play is on the under in this game, and maybe you can get a good number here still at a few places. I'm showing Bet Online at 150 under 15. I'm showing DraftKings still at 150.5 under 15, but note that Circa has already gone all the way down to 148. I always point out Circa because I think it is one of the world's sharpest books. And actually, if you look on my screen, Circa's in yellow, okay, and everything else is in white and gray. So that's kind of the line that I refer to. They take big bets and they don't really limit people. And, they're not the most glamorous book, but they do know how to do business, it feels like. So I'm on the under there, and it's moving here right now. In fact, now we're seeing a few other books move to 149. Columbia and New Haven, it's at 2 Eastern and 11 Pacific, so I want to mention that right now. Okay, and keep going here with Boston and Orlando here in this one. So at Boston, they beat Washington, and they won and covered against Washington by 13 points. Wonder they beat them 136 to 107. Before that, Boston lost to Utah and Houston at home. So Boston hasn't been a good cover either. They're just 3-6 ATS so far, 1-3 against the spread on the road as a dog. Orlando, they're 2-6 against the spread, and they're 0-3 against the spread at home so far. Just 2-6 as a favorite. So just like last time, two teams that aren't really covering very well here right now. But at least, both teams trying, kind of wondering what's wrong with Orlando here, right? Two teams pretty disappointing to say the least. Orlando, though, has covered the spread in 6 of the last 7 meetings against Boston, and we know that has been a much better Boston team than this. Whether or not Orlando's having some woes, or maybe they're just not ever going to progress. They're just going to be the same level of, after a while, young and exciting becomes, middle career and boring. So we'll see. But I think I'm going to grab Orlando tonight. Maybe I like that advantage there. So give me the Magic here, and I'll see what you guys got. All right. It's going to be right. Irish, maybe I could do an AI of myself, and then I could just type in what I want to say, and then the words will say. But then would you guys watch if I did AI of myself and it wasn't a real person? I could be sleeping, or I don't know what I'd do. Okay, Wizards team total under. I'm trying to get that. Those. I love the AI, but I'm not an AI handicapper. I'll tell you that. But I'm letting AI write a lot of my high school stories. I just type in my thoughts, and then it comes up with a story. All right. Let's see here. Magic Moneyline and over. Chosen One says Boston doesn't have any bigs. Right. Hey, what about? Hey, you don't be getting on my man Queta in there, okay? And why not? Why not? All right. Jaylen Brown in there and his 27.5 points per game average. Man, Magic fully healthy finally. Maybe they can get going at home. That's what I'm thinking here. Low spread. Boston, they're not really injured anymore. They're not, other than Tatum, but we don't worry about talking about that really, right? We just keep on going here right now. Wendell Carter maybe taking his points over there. And Bain here on his points over, it looks like. Magic finally home. They'll win this game, says. Is the spread telling, says Toucan here. Playoff revenge for Orlando. Yeah, but remember, Orlando was in those games, man. They were covering all those games pretty much, weren't they? And I don't know. We got to see more, but I'm going to take them. I'm taking them with you guys a little bit here. It looks like maybe the Celtics can get 5 points later. This one seems to be moving actually in the direction of the Celtics. Actually, most of the books open 4 or 4.5, maybe a few 3.5s. But now it's even 3 now at Circa. So we're seeing in 3 and elsewhere. We're seeing it go the other way. The 4 is The 4 is really stale. I should change that. I think 3 is actually more representative here. The value side, in my opinion, is the Magic. I'll take the Magic. All right. Next up, the Raptor. We took too long, man. We'll be here all day. With all the steam. Raptors and Hawks. Both teams come in 4-4. The Raptors are playing their best basketball of the season here all of a sudden with wins over Cleveland, Memphis, and Milwaukee, and they covered them all. Atlanta's coming in having won and covered 2 of their last 3. They've won 3 of their last 4. They beat Orlando and got the money last time out after a loss to Cleveland. Toronto just 4-4 ATS, but Atlanta's 1-3 ATS as a favorite. They are still favored here. In fact, it's actually gone up from 1.5 up to 2.5 here right now. Atlanta's been kind of taking the money here, despite the fact that Trae Young, he's out of this game for sure. He's not playing tonight, but I think that's built in a little bit to the number, and there's still, it's not an unknown fact, and the move is still on Atlanta here. The steam came in on Atlanta, and I think that might say something. Toronto has owned this series. I don't think there's much question about that. Toronto has won 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams. Toronto's gone 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 against Atlanta, and Atlanta is actually 0-6 in their last 6 games at home against Toronto here. So Toronto does hold some edges over them head-to-head for sure. Notable head-to-head edges here for sure. And I don't know, without Trae Young, see what you guys have here in this one. But I think that is interesting to note. Toronto's been the better spread team as well so far this season. Atlanta's just 1-2 straight up at home. Here we go. We've got Chosen One. He's on the Hawks. And, hey, Boston couldn't beat Utah. Greg here says he's got it close there for sure with Atlanta taking it. 9 legacies on the Raptors. Timmy says over. Double-digit in-season revenge for that game back. Was that the season opener, or was it 138 to 118? Toronto won at Atlanta. Now Atlanta still back home here, maybe primed for a win. And Greg, yeah, maybe they're a little bit better when Young is not in there, right? And how about Jalen Johnson here? I'm still going to go back in a situation like this, and I'm going to ride a little bit on that head-to-head momentum, and I'm going to take Toronto here in this one. And hey, I can get 2 points out of this. I'm going to go ahead and take the Raptors here. We are seeing an NBA steam play here right now. Well, we might. Hey, at least we got one, and it is the over in the game between, or I'm sorry, the under in the game between the Thunder and the Magic. Steam to the under here. It was 232.5, but we're going down here right now in this one. Thunder and Kings. We're down to 231.5 at Bovada. I will note that the send out in this game was 226.5, and Circa did open. Most of the books open this game much lower than this. Then it went up. Could be a head fake here, actually, because originally that one was moving up, and there may be some personnel issues. We'll get to that. All right, and let's see. A few more comments. It may have been the season opener. Thank you. Yeah, look at that. Open. Was it talk about this one with Toronto and Atlanta there? Yeah. Atlanta first half for Irish King. Hello to Jimmy in the chat. Jimmy, you said you got, I might not know, hopefully I get it right and get you that extra month subscription if you're already signed up. I might not have been able to find it. Maybe you can give me a keyword or something so I know what to look for if your email is different than your name, or you can send it on X or something. Mr. Wesker's Sacramento Moneyline. Some bonus might not play. Yeah, there's definitely some issues on both the teams tonight for sure in that one. We'll get to it. Let's keep it moving, though, right now with the Pistons taking on the Nets. We've got another road favorite here against the sad sack Nets, but the Nets won their last game, and it was party time in Brooklyn as they were able to get the win, knocking off Indiana 112 to 103. Got Detroit here coming in here, though, one of the hottest teams in the league. They've won and covered 4 straight games coming in, and not only that, they're 6-2 ATS, 4-1 ATS is a favorite. This Detroit team is clicking. The Nets here are 3-5 ATS overall and 1-7 straight up. They've lost every game at home so far. The Pistons are 2-1 straight up on the road here. So it's tough, man, because this Detroit team, you at least if you're going to lay some points, you want the team to be a little bit hot, right? Detroit is that. Not only that, they've covered 6 straight games against Brooklyn. Brooklyn is, we know they're totally dismal here right now. 9 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone over. I'm taking Detroit. I'll lay 10 points. What the heck? They own this team, and they're playing as hot as can be. Detroit won and covered a big number here last year, 113 to 98. Laying 9.5 at Brooklyn last January. They also covered 12.5 at home, winning by 19 points later on in March. Detroit grabbed the other win by 14 on the road here in Brooklyn last year as well. So Detroit has had good success here against Detroit just last season, and I don't think nothing's much different, right? Other than maybe Detroit, we're actually starting to see, it's starting to pay. Where's AOD? I mean, look, we already know Detroit has been like a nice growing team, but maybe this is finally, maybe the next step now for Detroit. They're getting in that echelon here a little bit. Greg's got it here. He's got the Nets here, though, it looks like.
System play.
Yeah, all these here's a Detroit first half, but 9 legacies has got to take the Nets. This is definitely a big factor in this game. Thank you, Chosen One. I kind of blew it there on the injury, because you got to think that's also a major factor in this game. In fact, if you look at the whole schedule, this Cam Thomas injury here, I think he's out. Quite frankly. It's a hamstring injury. The prognosis was not good, and what do you guys? Did you guys hear anything? I think he's out, but that's part of the cap here for me. Drake Powell is probable for the Nets. There are injuries too here. I got LeVert. He is questionable. Sasser's out. Tobias Harris is out as well. So I'm on Detroit. And there you go. Fernando said, you know what? You can take the Nets early, but forget about it late. They will just fade. Roberts on the under. And yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it looks good, Terrell, for sure. Detroit owned them before, right? That's what we're looking at here, right? If you got a team playing as well as Detroit, and it's, there he is. See, you just call him out, and there he is. Nets team total under here. Detroit for Greg. Got to keep this show moving here on the morning steam. Thanks, everybody, for joining me here. Next up, got the Rockets here on the road taking on the Spurs. God, you guys, I've been forgetting about the NBA Cup standings, though. Sorry about that. Let me touch on them real quick in those other games. So Boston, they're 1-0. That was the first game for the Magic. Raptors and the Hawks, interestingly, in this one, the Raptors and Hawks are both 1-0 right now. So it's a big one in Group A that includes the Cavs and the Pacers as well. But the Hawks beat the Pacers in the first NBA Cup game, and the Raptors beat the Cavs. So those two teams are 1-0. The winner of that game takes control in Group A. Detroit and Pistons, that one is from Group B. It's the first game for the Pistons and the first game for the Nets. All right, I'm all caught up. Sorry about that. That kind of screws up the flow there a little bit. That's okay. We had no flow with all this steam. Rockets and Spurs, it's both of their first game here in the NBA Cup. Houston is red hot coming in here with a 5-game winning streak. That losing the first 2 games, that was just a little something, man. The Rockets are in a groove here. They've covered 4 of their last 5 as well. Just coming off that road win, they pounded Memphis. They didn't cover at home against Dallas, but you know what? You're playing Dallas. They were favored by double digits. They still won by 8, but they covered against Boston. They covered against Toronto. They covered against the Brooklyn Nets. Meanwhile, San Antonio, maybe a couple of tough games here on the road, right? They were at Phoenix. They lost. Then they played the Lakers. They lost. They were favored in that one, so it kind of got, right? But still, I don't think anybody's complaining. Nobody's complaining right now about the Spurs here. I mean, they're awesome too. 5-2 coming in, but they've lost their last 2, so it's a little bit of momentum one way and a little bit the other. But Houston's favored on the road, and I don't think we're necessarily mad at San Antonio because they dropped a couple of games here. But see what you say about it. Between these two, Houston has kind of had the upper hand here, but again, San Antonio just keeps growing, don't they, right now? Houston's covered 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two, but San Jose State's on a roll at home, 2-0-1 against the spread. Some people have them 3-0, but let's see how you see it, though, in this one between Houston and San Antonio. I mean, if it's going to be a good game, couldn't it come down to the wire with these guys tonight? Or is Houston just still a little bit better? Is there any – let's hear from the chat in this one. All right, Greg says it'll be ultra close. Raptors are a dangerous team, says Jordy. Is this going 2 overtimes? Will KD hit a buzzer beater here? Durant might not even make his free throws. And Mike has the numbers for us. Fernando says you got to take the Spurs and those points right now at home. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. I mean, hey, both teams, like I said, they're hot. Last year, season series between these, the playoff series, don't forget, between these two teams, as Houston was able to get it done. And San Antonio, you got to be thinking about that as they come in here into this one. Let's see how you have it. I'm sorry, guys. I think I said playoff series in there. Okay. Meant season series. I was looking at the season series results here. Let's see. Houston won and covered in March. Houston's won and covered 3 straight in the series when San Antonio win at home. It's a home team dominated series, I think is what I should say. All right, let's see. Houston rules Texas, says Greg. Over for Timmy. Terrell says go with amen here. Okay, I've got to grab these points at home with the Spurs in this one. Give me San Antonio at home. They've made the strides. You got to win. They got to win this one. Robert's got the under. Here comes some of that afternoon steam right now, you guys, on the game between Columbia and New Haven. I already talked about taking the under there because of that steam. But right now, Columbia is getting steamed here. They were a 6-point favorite. But here comes the steam on Columbia. And it is now Columbia by 8.5 at Bet Online here and juiced. So it was 6, then it was 6.5. Now it's 8.5. Columbia taking the steam against New Haven. New Haven, by the way, it's their first year in Division One, and Columbia, they've been around a few years. Since 18, or I don't know how long. All right, Greg here's got. I'm going to take San Antonio this one and keep going here on the morning steam. Next up, the Mavericks and the Grizzlies. Here in this one, you got the Grizzlies favored by 4.5. Total here 232. Both teams come in with losing streaks right now. Angry Jaw and the Grizz here still favored. Got some injuries here, injury issues here for Dallas. Big time in this one. Anthony Davis is doubtful. Derek Lively is out here as well. Exum is still out for Memphis. No real new injuries, just the ones that have kind of been plaguing them here right now. But Dallas has the key injury, it feels like, right here with AD out of this game. Now, we know that Memphis has been pretty bad, but so's Dallas. Dallas has lost 3 straight, although they did cover against Houston, remember, getting those double digits. Meanwhile, Memphis is on a big-time 4 straight losses in those. They were underdogs in all of them, so they didn't cover those games as a dog here right now. And now you got to come in and ask them to be a favorite here. Dallas has issues though as well, but can the Memphis really get a number here against Dallas in this one? Let's see how you guys have it. I mean, this is a series that Memphis has kind of had the upper hand. They've covered 5 of the last 6 games between the two teams, actually, but both teams have been dismal covers. This series has gone under in 12 of the last 17 meetings between the two clubs. Memphis is 2-7 against the spread this season. Dallas, they're 3-1 as an underdog against the spread this season. But like I said, series history resides with the Grizz. Tough one. What do you got? Here is, Chosen went to Houston first half in that other game. Greg here says, I think he's got the over here. It looks like maybe Memphis and over. And don't forget NBA Cup. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. For Dallas here currently, this is their first NBA Cup game. Memphis lost to the Lakers. They're 0-1, so their backs are to the wall. You can't. 2 losses is tough here. Memphis is due for a good win. Greg is sometimes about the due factor. Okay, I think Mr. Wesker's there talking. They meant to say Dallas there, right? Okay, also, Dallas couldn't beat the Pelicans. How are they going to come through in this one? Robert's on Memphis. Take the inflated line, says Mike. Mike's coming through with some hot information there. In a game opposite direction, hopefully the 10 points or more. Grizzlies here for cash gain. Mr. Westers likes Dallas outright here. And Nine Legacy says Grizzlies on the spread. Robert says go over in this one with Dallas and Memphis. Yeah, Memphis. I mean, I got to think that I might. I don't want to play the do factor, but I'm going to go ahead and lay it here with Memphis with AD out of there. Probably would go with Dallas if he was in. I'm not always about the injury factor. Like I said, it's always built in, but Grizzlies should win. He likes the Grizz, says Jordy. Terrell says Cooper Flag in this one to have a big game with AD out of there. Tough matchup, though, I think, when you got guys like KCP on him a little bit. And remember the Memphis score he gave us. All right, sometimes I just repeat what's on there. I don't know if I remember the score or not. Here we go. Next up, Jazz and Wolves. Hey, the Jazz come in here right now as an 11.5-point dog, total 232.5. Hey, Jazz won a game, but then they came back and followed that up with a loss last time out against Detroit on the road, 114-103. Memphis got rolled by the Knicks on the road, 137-114 a couple of nights ago. Minnesota, remember, and Cat commented after the game. He said, I'm still stuck. Remember, I tried to say, let's not talk about the Cat trade anymore as part of the, outline of the game, the preview of the game. It's been a first thing in the post game. I'm still surprised they traded me to the maybe we should have been focused in on that. Anyway, for Utah here, they've been a pretty decent cover, 5-3 ATS, 4-2 ATS as a dog. Minnesota, not so much, 0-3 against the spread at home, 2-4 against the spread as a favorite, 2-6 against the spread overall. So, maybe you were laying a little bit too much here with a Minnesota team that definitely has some injury woes for Minnesota here. And Edwards, still questionable. Do we really want to play him here if we think we can beat Utah? Utah missing one of their best players, Walker Kessler. We found out here today or yesterday that he's out for the season with a shoulder injury. Bummer. Terrence Shannon questionable for Minnesota here, but does seem like maybe a little bit too much because Minnesota is not handling these spreads. And Utah, it feels like at the beginning of the season they might have enough talent to kind of cover the big numbers, and then as the season winds down and looks like they don't make the playoffs, maybe that kind of takes away some of the motivation of a few of these guys. But nobody's arguing that Keontae George hasn't done a great job here this season. I think he had an off game there against Detroit. He's been so good, and ever since he got his option picked up, he had a couple of big games against Phoenix and Boston. So I got to think that Utah has enough here to get this number on the road, and I'm going to take the Jazz here plus the points against the Wolves that haven't covered a game at home yet. In fact, they're 1-2. ATS. All right, here we go. The Terrell, right? I mean, it's when after a while, right? You're supposed to be the leader of the team, and if you're angry, Ja, that's on you, right? I mean, if I'm a leader, I'm going to take everyone down with me. I'm not going to point the finger or blame it. If we lose some games in here, I'm the first one to take responsibility. I think they know that on those shows that I'm on those guys with. All right. Chosen one's on the under here. And maybe Terrell and Flag both go over. Is that what that says? Memphis here. Memphis and over, I think, for Greg. Chosen one says, look at these point scores for the Jazz here, how low these point totals are. And the total, look at the total in this game, right? Whoops, where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. And what I say it was right now? Oh yeah, it's about 231.5, 232 there maybe. Okay. Let's see here. Mike says Jazz plus the points. Greg says that's probably Minnesota and the over there. How do the Jazz covers this team? I mean, look, if it is Ant even in this game, is he going to play in this game? They're a double-digit favorite. You don't want to. If he's ready, I guess he's ready to go. I think he might be in this game, but he is questionable here right now. And I just said Keontae George. And, oh, yeah, the dismal road trip here. Is this number it's been 5 straight so far, right? And this is the last one. And not only that, I mean, this is the 5th straight. Yeah, this is the 5th straight one. And they've lost 3 of them, no doubt. Okay, under there. Keontae's numbers there. Robert likes the over. Jazz covers at home. Maybe Greg says, but not on the road. Maybe that's what he's saying there. T-Wolves back home after their 3-game road trip. Sometimes they say, hey, the first one's the toughest there. Utah for Timmy. And Ant, is he better already? Minnesota got that blowout loss. Right, okay. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Jazz. Here we go. Next up. The Hornets are taking on the Heat here, and the Heat are a 5-point favorite, total 241.5. And we talked the story there. I mean, you got Spoelstra coming home here. Mike says it looks like an insurance deal to him. Miami's lost 3 of their last 4 games here coming off this road trip. And also, they did get a win over the Clippers. Hey, we had them in that one, plus the points, but wasn't a great trip. They went 3-1 on the West Coast swing. Charlotte comes in here off of a road loss, 116-112 against New Orleans. But Miami's been pretty good against the numbers so far, 5-2-1 against the spread, 2-0 against the spread at home. Charlotte here comes in 3-4 against the spread as an underdog. We already said Bam is out tonight. So, yeah, a little bit of a negative here. That's probably why the spread is 5. It looked like he was going to be out already. And so that's a little bit of a bummer. But LaMelo Ball, he's questionable. We already know Brandon Miller's out. So, Miami's got some injury woes too. Nikola Jovic, though, he is upgraded to probable here. So I got to take the Heat probably in this one, I think, against Charlotte. I know Charlotte's actually had, let me see, I think a little bit of success against these guys. NBA Cup, don't forget. Let's see here. What is going on in the Cup with those two teams? By the way, the Jazz was 0-1 coming in. The Timberwolves were playing their first game. Charlotte here is playing their first game. Miami is also playing their first game. So no Bam, but I'm still going to end up laying it here with Miami in this one. Give me the Heat. What was I said? Oh, the season series. Yeah. I think a little bit of success. I want to say a little bit of success for Charlotte against Miami. What is it? Oh, no. 2-5 ATS. Last 7 against Miami overall. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two have gone under. I'm going to take the Heat in this one. They've been getting the numbers here so far. Give me the Heat. And we'll see what you guys have in the chat. Mike says the Knicks are on a roll. And Wester says Heat had a hard trip, not laying any points with the Heat. Like I said, just a strange story there. Spoelstra's his home burned down last night, 2 nights ago. We saw the big fire at his house. Burn that mother down. There it is, right there. We were showing it on the show. Spoelstra's house. I don't know. Could be an insurance deal. Hope his belongings weren't in there. Hope all of his trophies weren't in there. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Greg likes it here. I think that's an under. But Timmy says maybe it'll help with the over. Miami might push the number. Robert's on the under here. LaMelo, if he plays. Yeah, this one's one you're going to want to wait maybe for the personnel a little bit. Miami owns Charlotte. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Greg. And, yep, those trophies, they all melted. They're melty. Funny, we were just talking about okay. Yep. And for me in that one, by the way, Charlotte is 3-1 to the over on the road so far this season. Miami went over in their only game as a favorite so far in this one. They played back on October 28th here in Miami already, and Miami beat them 144 to 117. They smashed them in and over. The Bulls are taking on the Bucks here. You got the Bulls 6-1. The Bucks are just 5-3, but they're still favored in this one by 4. Imagine that. The Bucks would have been favored. The Bucks would have been favored by a lot more if we didn't know Chicago is either this good or they're a little bit fraudulent. Recent wins here over Atlanta, Sacramento, New York, and Philadelphia. They did lose to the Knicks, remember, 128 to 116 on the road. Meanwhile, the Bucks come in here on losing 2 of their last 3, including getting blown out at Toronto last time out as a 2.5-point dog. But they did beat Indiana on the road. They didn't cover, though. They were favored by 6.5. Chicago's 4-1 against the spread on the road so far this season. Milwaukee's 3-1 against the spread at home, but they're 1-2 against the spread as a favorite so far this season. Chicago has won just 6 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams overall. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. The widely reported steam came in on the under in this game, but it's still 4.5, 240, right about there. So let's see how you have it in this one with Chicago and the Bucks. It's a pretty small number here for sure, but Chicago's just a hot spread team, hot team overall right now, 6-1. This is a good game here tonight for sure. All right, going to be Bulls having a great year already. They'll fade, right? Chosen One likes the Bucks. Chosen One says the Bulls are going to be better at home. Greg here has it a very close game, but I think with that spread, he's got the Bulls winning. He's got the Bulls winning, and Robert says that's his team there, the Bucks. All right, I'm going to take the Chicago Bulls here in this one. I'm going to take them plus those points to kind of keep it going here right now. Like what I see here from Chicago. Underway here with Pegula and Rabakina today here with the WTA finals. We did send out a play in this one, in this match. I'm on Pegula plus 3.5 right now. 3.5 games against Rabakina here. Good match so far with Pegula leading here, actually on serve here, serving for the set here now, set point. Got some steam coming in here right now on DePaul. DePaul minus 22, but they're getting steamed right now in the game against Stonehill. They were 22, and let's call it 23 here right now with DePaul taking the steam here against Stonehill. In fact, I'm showing 24.5 right now. It's circa, of course, all the way up to 24.5. So it was 22. Now it's 24.5 with DePaul getting steamed against Stonehill. Wow, we actually went like a half an hour without any steam. How about that? Pegula takes that first set. That's pretty cool. Hopefully, hey, if you're on with my subscriptions, this match was just still a long way to go. Only first set down, but we're on Pegula here in the match. And we're also on Djokovic minus 4 games. He did take the first set 6-3. And it looks like Nori and Sonego didn't play that one here, but boy, it looks like this one's going to go to 3 sets. Okay, here we go with the Thunder taking on the Kings here. Thunder, big double-digit favorite here. The Thunder are a terrible favorite. I mean, we know that. They're favored here by 10, 10.5, maybe 11. Looks like 11 right now in the total here. 233 in this one. The Thunder finally lost last game, and hey, we were on them. Everybody was on them. We were on the Portland Trailblazers. I think a lot of people were on the Portland Trailblazers, figuring can't win them all. That looked like the end of the road there for Portland, playing that late game and then having to go up there to Portland. Didn't change time zones, but had to board a plane probably after midnight and then go play the game the next night. And even Portland was able to win there only by 2. Portland was an underdog, though, in that game. For Sacramento here, they're playing pretty well. They've won 2 of their last 3. They've covered 3 straight, and they've been 3-2 as an underdog at home so far. Oklahoma City's kind of got the ship going here, 4-5 ATS overall here right now, but still 8-1. Just always laying a big number here, pretty much. So, probably willing to take the Kings. Just that De'Aaron Fox is questionable in this game for the Kings. This is one we talked about, all these injuries here, and you got both teams kind of faced with some injuries here, but Chet Holmgren, he's been upgraded to probable. Jalen Williams is going to be out. Guard Jalen Williams is going to be out. Lou Dort, questionable. Caruso, questionable here. For the Kings, Zach LaVine, he's upgraded to probable. And yes, Sabonis is questionable here, but I think I got to take the Kings in this one to cover 11 again here. The Thunder can't go on pounding everybody every night, and I'm going to go ahead and take the Kings in this one, plus the points here on Friday night. And as far as the NBA Cup is concerned, sorry about that. The Bulls, by the way, are 1-0. The Bucks were playing their first game in the NBA Cup. As far as the Thunder and the Kings are concerned, the Thunder here are so far playing their first game, and so are the Kings in the NBA Cup. Okay, I am taking the Kings in this one. Let's see what you have in the chat. And here we go. Let's see. Bulls +4. Did I miss the Bulls games here? I'm sorry, you guys. I just went on by, didn't I? Chicago there plus. Greg there had a 12-point game there. The Thunder in this one to get the cover. And that's an over for sure. Dave says go Bucks. Nine Legacy says Kings get the cover. Bob's got over here. AJ Mitchell here for Terrell. Thunder coming off the Portland loss, so they lost a game. Maybe they'll be hangry to beat these Kings up since they just lost a game. Mike says the Kings, though. And Timmy says he played the Kings there last night. No, it wasn't the Kings. 2 nights ago, right? Because last night was just the Clippers and the Suns. One more in the NBA. We're doing okay. It's 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific here. I'm enjoying myself. I'm watching some tennis with you guys. We got last up Warriors and Nuggets here in this one. And Nuggets going to be a big favorite. We already know there's concerns with the Warriors coming into this game injury-wise. Curry is out. Butler is questionable. Draymond is probable. And for the Nuggets, Strawther is probable. But got the Nuggets here. 10-point favorite, maybe 10.5, total 28.5. The Nuggets have won a couple in a row here right now to beat Miami and beat Sacramento. Didn't cover, though, against Seattle. Meanwhile, for the Warriors here, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games, all of them on the road. All the losses were on the road. And here they are on the road again, big-time underdog. Without players in Denver where things can get a little tough. This sounds like it could be a blowout. We'll say that the Oklahoma City has had a good run against the Denver Nuggets have had a tough time with Golden State. Let me get it right here. Denver has defeated Golden State in 9 of the last 11 meetings. Does that make any sense? Golden State, however, has covered 6 of the last 8 meetings against Denver. So usually Denver wins the game, and they're favored by too many points, just like they are here. But can you trust Golden State in the spot right now when, you know what? Golden State's 1-4 on the road. They've just lost all these games on the road. They're not looking very good on the road. Denver is actually 3-1 at home so far. So I'm going to go with the Nuggets here and say that conclusion arrives at Warriors to get blown out, especially if they have no Curry and a limited Butler, a questionable Butler. Okay, here we go. Oops. Chosen one, Nuggets first half. Don't forget, could be revenge here for the Nuggets. Golden State won 137-131. Back in that opening game there is a 1.5 point favorite. Golden State, don't they play the Nuggets competitively in Denver? They do, but it's just that they always lose. They always lose, but they're getting enough points. So that would equal that they should be able to hang in here, but you got to put the no Curry and questionable Butler on top of it. Get more players in Denver, says Jimmy Chushu. He says these guys, not enough supporting cast for Joker. You got one of the best players ever to come out of Canada, Jamal Murray. You got Braun. Mike says go over. Robert's got the under here in this one, and that's it for the NBA. Thank you, you guys. Great job. I've got 4 games in the NHL tonight. Let's start it off. We can finish strong here. I'm losing my voice. Too many shows. All right, let's go to the ice here tonight. Sorry about the rustling papers. There you go. Too many sports. I tape my sheet all together, and I couldn't do that tonight. Okay, Detroit and the Rangers here to get us started off. It looks like Shesterkin. Let me update the goalie computer here, and looks like Shesterkin, and I believe it's Cam Talbot now here for Detroit. So that may alter things, but it may not. I mean, you figure what Cam Talbot's been doing this season. He's 5-1 so far this season. And Igor is just 4-5-2 with a 2.26 goals against here. And Talbot comes in here with the Red Wings coming in second place right now with this 9-5 record. They have lost 2 of their last 3, however, but you got Talbot here, who's actually been pretty good. The only game they won in those 3 games was against San Jose. They lost to Anaheim. They lost to BGK. But Talbot, so far, I think, 5-1 record despite just a 2.76 ERA doesn't sound too bad here, actually, for Detroit getting their backup in the game. Where's my graphic? Because right now the line has shifted here. You know what? Maybe it's a pick 'em. I'm showing Red Wings are favorite at BetOnline, at Bovada, at DraftKings. Circa has the Rangers just a slight favorite. I'm going to go under in this one with the Rangers and the Wings. You got Igor in here. Talbot, 5-1 record. Of course, we know that the Red Rangers are much better on the road than they are at home. They're terrible at home, right? They were 1-5 at home so far, or are they even won one yet?
System play.
No, 0-5 at home, right? 0-5-1. What is it? Doesn't matter. They've been terrible. They've actually 6-1 on the road, but Detroit's 5-1 at home. So, you know what? Rangers are 2-4 as a dog, if they are still a dog here. Totals at 5.5 over 25. I'm going to take the under in this one. Rangers have gone under in 7 of their last 10 games coming into this matchup, and 10 of the last, let's see here. Rangers are 5-9 to the under so far. 14 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams have gone under. I'm going to take the under here with the Rangers and the Red Wings. Rangers and under for Mike. I think Robert likes the under here. And what will we get? More goals or less goals? 3-2 Rangers for Greg. There's Jerry. I think he's talking Tulane football. Nice to see Jerry in the chat. Larkin for an anytime goal here for Timmy. All right, next up, you've got the Wild taking on the Islanders. And we got a couple of backups here, it looks like, with Wallstead going up here against Rittich. Okay, let's get the numbers on these guys here with the backups in here tonight. Rittich is confirmed here, and he did get rocked in that game back on October 30th against the Hurricanes, didn't he? He gave up 6 goals on 34 shots, but then he came right back and stopped 20 of 22 in a win over Columbus here for Rittich. Only 4 starts, 3-1 record, 3.0 goals against, and a 90% save percentage here as Minnesota's on the back-to-back here, I think, right now from yesterday. They lost that game. Of course, you guys mentioned in the chat, the 4-3 game against Carolina coming in. For Jesper Wallstedt here, he's 1-0-2. That one win was memorable. So 3.44 goals against and an 86% save percentage coming into this one. So got the Islanders here 6-2-2 in their last 10 overall. Minnesota 3-6 straight up as an underdog. Islanders are 4-2 at home. Minnesota's 2-4 on the road. Islanders aren't covered any puck lines. We know that. Meanwhile, Minnesota is 5-4 as a puck line dog so far this season. All right, see if you guys are playing this one here with Minnesota and the Islanders tonight. Minnesota's actually won 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams coming in. Islanders have won, 4-2 at home. See what you got here. This game has to go over. Robert likes the Islanders here. Robert likes the over. 4-3 says Greg. And Timmy's got an anytime goal in there. I'm taking the Wild here on the road in this one. Next up, the Blackhawks are taking on the Flames, and there's no line on the board, but we know there's a line on this game. Flames are $1.45, 6 under 15. There's some typing on the keyboard. All right. And for Chicago here, coming in 6-5-3. Calgary, they've won 2 straight. They're 4-9-2, but they're finally putting together a few wins here, maybe because they're at home. That might be the secret. This is only the second time all season Calgary's been favored. They did win the other time they were favored, despite having that 4-9-2 record so far. Calgary's 11-4 to the over. They're 9-1 to the over in their last 10 games. Chicago, though, meanwhile, is 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games. They're 5-9 to the under so far this season. They've been an underdog in every game so far this season, have the Chicago Blackhawks. 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone over. For Wolf here, Wolf comes in here with a 4-8 record, 4-8-1 record, 3.19 goals against, 89.5% save percentage. For Chicago here with Knight, he's 5-3-2 with a 2.56 goals against average and a 92% save percentage. I'm going to go over in this one with Chicago and Calgary. 4-3 in there. Let's just say 4-3, Greg. We got 4-3 in this one too. 4-3 Flames, I'll say. Okay, let's see what we got. Mike's on. Let's see here. Mike took the Isles. I missed that. Flames against the spread against Chicago. Flames Puck line, got it. Flames puck line. Chicago's going to start going downhill here now a little bit. That's, I think, what Chicago here is 11-3 on the puck line so far. So, but the Flames, they've only been a puck line favorite one time, and they did get it done. And let's see here, Timmy Two Shoe got a parlay there. Ken says, take the Hawks. Robert's on Calgary. He's also on the under here. Jerry says, Jerry's a little behind. He's on the football portion, but good to see Jerry in there. And Greg says 4-3, a lot of 4-3. Let's play it. 4-3 exact score line tonight. Flames, money line for Bar. Hi, Bar. And Knight is fell for there, right? Man, forehead, who just always never could get that offensive support. All right. One more here on Friday night. It's going to be Winnipeg taking on San Jose. Hellebuck and Nedeljkovic. Is that right? Let me check here. And it could be Askarov. Let me see. No, I think I've got Nedeljkovic, actually. Yeah, I think it's going to be Nedeljkovic. Still a $2 favorite here for the Jets. Look, the Sharks are playing about as well as they have in quite a long time. I know they're going up against the mighty Jets here at 9-4 right now, but man, just to think the Sharks are 5-6-3 right now. They've actually looked pretty decent here, and you have all these one-goal games. And the Sharks, it's funny, right? I was just complaining. Was I complaining about it last night, saying, look at all these $1.75, $2 favorites, and then the puck line the other way is like $1.75 that way. But here, if you're willing to, the Sharks are a little bit of a more reasonable price. They're plus 1.5 at -150. So that's pretty low comparatively to what we've seen, maybe because of the reputation of the Sharks is so bad. And, they might give it up a empty netter or something too, but they are just playing extremely well. Now, Winnipeg is 9-2 as a favorite so far this season, 4-1 on the road this year. San Jose, they are 5-4-1 in their last 10, but they're still 5-9 as a dog this season. San Jose, though, is 10-4 as a puck line. On the puck line, they've been a puck line underdog every season. So 10-4, that would pay off $1.50 every time. They're also 6-2 as a puck line dog at home. Winnipeg, despite that 8-5 puck line record, is 3-2 as a puck on the puck line on the road. Although 2 of those, I believe, were as an underdog. Got Bucknell here taking some steam, guys, in the game against Mount St. Mary's. Bucknell was a 3.5-point dog to Mount St. Mary's, but the move here is on Bucknell, and right now Bucknell has moved to a 2.5-point dog. 1-point move there. Bucknell taking some steam against Mount St. Mary's. All right, I got to make my call, though, here in the Jets and the Sharks. Who wants to, come up with, does anybody want to go with the Jets and the Sharks? Anybody? All right. I just thought you might want to break into a little West Side Story whenever you got the Jets and the Sharks. What is your favorite song from West Side Story? Do you have one? Did you perform in did you do West Side Story in your high school play? I mean, how do you not love I Feel Pretty? Okay. Let's go with here. Jets and Sharks on the total. I'm getting your plays here right now. Mr. Westwood says, I've been talking up this Sharks team. He's on the money line. There's Dylan. Dylon says Jets and the Sharks over. And Timmy talking about the goaltending situation up there. Yep. Nine Legacy says Minnesota on the money line, Rangers money line, Flames money line, Sharks money line. Bar is on the over. Dylan says both these teams are in the top 10 on their team totals. Team totals over, I think. Probably what the Dylon's saying there. Greg says Jets win this one 4-2. Take the puck line, says Robert as well. Hello to Tech Styles in the chat. Mike says Jets go under. Okay. Jets were shut out versus the Kings. This will be a good one. Shipley a goal. Namastinkov a goal. Kurashev a goal. Wenberg a point. I think that's what it said there. Dylan says the Sharks are 10-4. Jets 9-4. Toe their team total over. Wow. All right. And let's see. I think Dylan, is that the right play there, Dylan? Mike said have the Sharks there. Karashev producing, and a lot of people say I remind them of Jack a little bit. All right, I got to make my call in the hockey segments over. The show's almost over. We still got to get a few of these college basketball games in, but we've covered so many. I'm just going to give out some plays and get the show over with here by the bottom of the hour. Thank you so much for spending 2 hours with me here on the Morning Steam Show. But anyways, for this one between Winnipeg and San Jose, 11 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams have gone under. But yeah, these teams are kind of lighting it up here. It feels like right now. Sharks are 9-5 to the over so far. So I'm going to take another over here tonight. Give me the over in this one with Winnipeg and San Jose. I got 3 overs tonight. Jets for Ken. And let's see here. Let's see. Sharks ain't biting. Jordy likes the Jets. Hope I caught them all here. All right. Thanks, you guys. Great hockey segment. Let's go here. I think I've got some basketball plays. Hope they didn't get wiped out by the steam. But also, I don't know if I have all the best games in here. I kind of picked games that I had plays on that I liked. So you can make a request if you've got a good one here, and I'll try to make it there. Oh, man, the overs were hot, says Dylan there. All right. Okay, here we go. Action Jackson's in there, catching up there. Hi, Action Jackson. Talking about that great game, huh? Okay, let me just get to these here real quick on some of these college games. I picked the early games too, right? Because these games are coming up here in a couple of hours. And, Mikey's got all the prime time action for you today at pre-gaming here, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. He'll have plenty of college basketball. But these early games, I think, would be a nice touch to kind of go over some of them here. We're already seeing one game out there, not a board game, but Wilmington is playing or not, it's not Wilmington, but it is Delaware right now is taking on Wilmington, Delaware, not UNC Wilmington. Delaware against Wilmington. It's called Wilmington, but Wilmington, Delaware. It's tied at 15 here right now. Okay, let me get this one here between Edwardsville and UTSA. Both teams come in having won their first game of the season, but they were both, UTSA beat or lost to ECU 70-65 as a 4.5-point dog. So Edwardsville, meanwhile, they took on Houston and lost 78-40 as a 28.5-point. Oh no, that was their tournament game. I know they played a game. Let me look it up here. They played they played East West. I'm not kidding. They beat East West 119-50 in their first game of the season. That one counts. You get the one game you can play and count it to your record. There. So was Edwardsville getting that win in the first game. So they come in here right now with that 1-0 record. UTSA comes in with a 1-0 record as well. And showing right now 6.5, 152. It's up to 6.5, 6.5, maybe 153 is now the total right now. Maybe it's gone up just a little bit. So see what you got there in this one with Edwardsville and UTSA. But for me, I've got the over in this one for sure. 153. I'm going over here with these two on my morning steam pick here right now. All right, I did skip I said I'm doing the early games, but I did. Let me see. I got the next one here. I believe there's a time change though. Let me see here. I may have had them backwards. Yeah. So Columbia and New Haven. This game's actually now at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. It's been moved back 1 hour. Okay, New Haven is a new Division One team. This is their first year here in Division One, and they are taking on, as we said here, Columbia. We already said the steam came in on Columbia. The steam came in on New Haven, or on the total under here right now. So the game spread, which was 6 and 151, is now 7.5 or 8, maybe mostly 8, and down to 148. So clearly the steam has affected this game here with the move on Columbia, and the move is on the under here as well. So for me, I'm going to like Columbia here in this one. I'll go ahead and lay this big number with Columbia. Let's see, New Haven. You'll have to prove it to me here at this point. Give New Haven here some credit. They did hang in there. I thought they were okay in that first game. They were up against UConn, 79 to 55. They did actually get the number. New Haven did, but they were playing UConn in that game, and maybe UConn just a little bit of a big brother attitude there, maybe a little bit in the game. I'm not saying that you don't maybe expect Dan Hurley to blow out somebody when he can, but you know what, New Haven. First game, you look at Connecticut's stats from that game, it was 79 to 55. Hey, maybe New Haven's got something here, right? But for Connecticut, Ball had a pretty good game there. Caravan did as well. Let me see. I'm trying to look at these stats a little bit, but don't worry about it. I'm taking Columbia. I'm taking Columbia here. See what you got here. I see some comments coming in. Mike, oh man, Mike, jeez. When you see a 5.5, take the under, says Greg. He just blindly does it. Okay, Jerry was talking about USC and the running back situation out there. It is USC. It's supposed to be running back U. Shouldn't have to worry there. Rabakina's come back big time in the second set here against Pagula. Take the points there, says Greg. Jerry's talking hockey there. I think Jerry's got SIU Edwardsville. Greg's got Edwardsville as well. Jerry says lay it with Columbia. Says that one tips off here soon. Greg says Edwardsville loses. Maybe UConn sucks again, Jerry. Maybe, oh man, we'll have a meltdown this year for sure from Coach. All right, Columbia. Oh, look, it's Greg Columbia with a U, Greg. Come on. You know, my favorite, I love Columbia, the country, though. I love them. All right, keep it going here. I've picked a few games out. Again, just games maybe that I like here a little bit. And, some intrigue, I guess, here. I took on the game between Northeastern and Colgate. I said, why not? Take a look at this one. Both teams come in 0-1 here right now. Colgate in their opener, they lost to Michigan State, but they got the money. They were 22-point dogs and lost 80 to 69. Great job by Colgate in that game for Northeastern here. You got a Northeastern team that is coming in off of a loss to BU, 76-75. They were a 2.5-point favorite in that one. You got Northeastern and B. It was Northeastern against B. It was like a beanpot game in basketball, wasn't it? So, all right, let's see what you got though here with Northeastern and Colgate in this one. Hopefully, cover just a little bit of the information there. They both went over in the first game of the season. It was, as I said, a BU game for Northeastern went over by 8 points. Colgate's game went over by 5 points against Michigan State. And I'm going to make my call here in this one between Northeastern and Colgate. And I got to take the Northeastern Huskies here plus the points right now. They are plus 5.5 here at some books, you guys. No wonder my computer has them as Northeastern. I didn't know that. I was just kind of going with what my numbers were saying. So I'll call it 5. But I tell you what, there's 5.5 right now out there at Circa here in Las Vegas. Call it 5 and 147, but I'm going to take Northeastern. I didn't know that. Good pick. Good pick, Mr. Computer. I always get mad at the right veto him. Here, Mr. Computer has come through, I think, with a good pick. I didn't use my didn't put that one through the brain power. We're just going with Northeast. We're trust the computer a little bit on the college basketball. Can't do every game. Greg says Colgate here. Jerry likes Colgate over Crest, maybe. Crest. The cavity creeps. All right. So my favorite guys for sure. Okay, Troy and Furman. Oh, we talked about this one, didn't we? We talked about that steam that came in on the over there with Troy and Furman. Man, that came in, and what is it now? We were in such a show. What did we say it was when it was coming in? 150, 151. It's 154.5 here now with Troy and Furman. Wow, this one's gone up big time here in this one. Oh, man, I have to send this one probably through the computer again and see what we get out of it. This one's at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific time, I think. Did we have a time change on this one? Yeah, we did. This one's now at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Okay. Move this one up a half an hour here between Troy and Furman here. You got Troy coming in here 1-0. Furman comes in 0-1. For Troy, they beat Kent 103-97 in a wild one. No wonder the steam's coming in on the over here. Went over 142 when it was 200 points scored in the game. Now it did go overtime. I know that. But
System playing.
16-10 in overtime. So, but still, it was going over by then for sure. It was already at 184 points. So that at that time. So for Furman here, they lost to High Point. I know that was a real popular game for a lot of people loving High Point there. They were only favored by 3.5, and High Point beat them by 26 points in that one. Both teams went over in their first game. That one, like I said, let's send this one through the roof. Maybe there is something to that. You got Furman gave up 97. That one wasn't overtime, but both these teams did put up some mighty big numbers there in that first game, but I didn't know if I was necessarily trusting it. So I'm going to go ahead and take Furman here in this one. Give me Furman to win and cover against Troy in this one. I'm going to take the Paladins. I think it might even be 3.5, right? Oh, no, it's 2. Oh, the move is on Troy, but I'll take Furman. All right, Greg likes Furman. Mike says Furman's due. That's right. I mean, they lost last game. They got to win this one. And maybe Jerry says under now. You know what, Jerry? The steam, I'm not saying the steam is going to intimidate me to go one way or the other. Jerry's on Furman. But, yeah, I was thinking under, and then that steam came in, and I just put it on the back burner. I said I'll reassess after the show. I was going with Furman, though. Okay, let's see what we got here. Washington State and Davidson. This is at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific. Washington State. Interesting trip here, huh? Washington State comes in off of a loss to Idaho at home. 83 to 81 is a 7.5 point favorite. You can't be doing that if you can't do that if you're Washington. For Davidson here, let me see. They did have a game, but they played, I believe, in a non-division one team in their first game here, I do believe. Let me see. Davidson beat DeSales 93 to 67 to win that first game of the season. Washington State did go over in that first game with Idaho, 164. It went over by 11 points in that one. So see if you have anything here with me in the game between Davidson and Washington State. I'm going to go to the chat. You guys did a great job with me today. Thank you. Whoops. By the way, so we're kind of keeping score, though, too. I want to add that the Steam, actually, the Don Best Steam was actually 500 yesterday. Is anybody keeping track of the moves on the show anyway? Or maybe just can judge yesterday? It felt like a push, too.
Final.
Joker did get that win for us in the Win Club. We said lay the games with Joker in the matchup against Hanfman. And look, we've been on Hanfman a little bit too, but not today. We did say go with Novak, and he did win it by 5 games. We said lay 4.5. He got there. Did have to lay a little juice there with Novak, but hey, I can only do what I can do. And he got that win. So hopefully you're subscribed up with me, or hey, if your tennis is great, let me know. All right. Oh, here. Let me get back to the business at hand here with Troy and Furman here in this one. Like I said, this one did get the time change here, so actually had to scroll through and go down to find the right time. That's basketball. A little bit too much going here. All right.
System playing.
Major
There we go. Let's see here. Okay, in this one with see, no wonder I couldn't find it. Washington State and Davidson. Let me go to your comments here. I'm kind of falling off place. Tex says, what is up with that Cavs game today, Ramon? What is going on with the Cavs? Well, I mean, they are 13.5 point favorites. Do you think they should be more because Washington is so bad? Is that what you're saying, Tex? Markel's here. Good morning. And Zoe, yeah, could you believe Wazoo like that? Who's Dave? Oh, Jerry says, take Washington State here. Okay. And he says they might beat them big time here in this one. And I think Mr. Westers, though, is liking Davidson here possibly in this one, huh? Is that what that is? All right. And Washington State, neither of these teams were covering any numbers. In fact, Davidson is just dating back to last year, 1-6 against the number overall, but Washington State's 1-6 against the number on the road. So I've actually got Davidson here to take care of business here against Washington State. Give me Davidson against Washington State. How about this one with Yale and Navy? Here you got Yale on the road, a 7-point favorite against the midshipmen here. Navy comes in with a 1-0 record so far for Navy. They beat Presbyterian 76-55 as a 3.5 point favorite here. This is the first game of the season for Yale. They come in here favored in this one. And this one's at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We already mentioned that steam came in on Yale, drove it all the way up from 5 all the way up here to 7 here right now with this one. And I'm even showing some 7.5s out there right now. So, Yale probably can take these guys, but that's getting to be kind of a pretty big number here right now, considering it's their first game of the season. Got a message, got a update here that Texas Tech forward JT Toppin, he's questionable for tonight's game against Sam Houston with a lower body injury. JT Toppin of Texas Tech, he is questionable tonight in that game currently. This report coming out, and against Sam Houston tonight. Let's see if that's affecting the spread at all. Still got a pretty good team out there, but all right, let me just cover it here from this one with Yale.
Urgent message.
Also, Lawan Watts, the forward of Texas Tech, he is also questionable for tonight's game. So you got a couple guys on Texas Tech here getting reports that a couple guys questionable here for Texas Tech. Usually in college, when you get the report, it's a little different than the NBA. Texas Tech was. I know we're talking about a different game here. I'm just looking at it. 27-point favorite there over Sam Houston. And right now we're seeing, let me see if it's starting to move yet on this news. We'll get back to the other game. And not yet, but we'll see what happens here. See if that does move it down a little bit. Okay, gang. Let me get my play here, though, in this one between Yale and Navy. All right. And in this one tonight, we got to take the under here in this one with Yale and Navy at 140. Gosh, is it down to 147.5 here? Give me the under with Yale and Navy. All right. And I got a couple more here for you while you're sticking around. We got 5 dozen of you here still watching me trying to come up with some winners. Let's go to this one with UAB and NC State. We talked about that earlier. If it was a football game, right, it'd be a 35-point spread. NC State took that steam there, and now they're a 20-point favorite here, 20.5. It opened as low as 14 at Bet Online, mostly 17 when most of the books hit market, but it's definitely been some steam here on on NC State here in the game against UAB here tonight. This is at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific with these two. Got both teams coming in here 1-0 right now. UAB got it done with a win and cover over Mississippi Valley, laying 34.5. We talked about those MEAC and SWAC teams kind of getting beat up, but we did see it win last night, right? Who was it last night that got that? Pine Bluff. We had Pine Bluff there. Oh, that was just a bet. What else? Well, we know Iowa State blew out Grambling, right? And A&M blew out Texas Southern. I think that was a premium we had there yesterday, but the premiums weren't that great. I know I took Merrimack against Auburn. That was questionable. And we tried to lay it with Xavier, but they couldn't get anything done against Lemoyne. Lemoyne got the money. Okay. Here with UAB and NC State. Hey, for NC State, they beat Central 1-4 in North Carolina Central. You know, when you hear me later this year, they beat Central. Could be Central Arkansas, I guess. 114-86. They got the money as well. Both teams went over in that first game this season. This total has gone from 163.5, maybe just to 164. That seems like all right now here in this one. I already said I liked NC State with that steam. So what am I going to do? I mean, I'm laying almost. It's my play. I mean, I think they will blow out a UAB, but I'll tell you what, can't put too much on it at 20, 21 points right now. Look, I thought the opener was 17. I see there were some openers even lower. I never saw those. So, like I said, Bet Online opened at 14. I'm not going to call it a 7-point move. I'm calling it a 4-point move. I'm not good enough to get those numbers. But I'm going to take NC State here. All right, let's see. Jerry loves what Navy's going to have this year. Jerry says Toppin didn't play game 1. Now he's not going to play game 2. Tex says that line moved from 14.5. Yeah, how about that? You guys are talking about it too, right? Oh, is that, do I got the right game? You guys might be talking about another one. Yale to win, but Navy to cover. And Watts didn't play either, said Jerry. Those guys were both out. Wesker says he wants to take UC NC. Okay, there we go. I was like, oh, who are we talking about here? All right, here. Let's see. UAB for Mike. Greg says it'll be a 15-point game and 165. So that's UAB and over, I think. Right? Jerry, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was making some brisket last night or something, and I gave up on the game, actually. I gave up on it, came back and saw I won. I wasn't sweating it. I said, whoops. I had to correct my sheet from loss to win. No more Kulabai. No more. He's out again. Greg says that UAB's no slouch. Mike says take the points and parlay it. I probably should. I'm going to go ahead and lay it. I'm going to go ahead and lay it with NC State. All right, one more, guys. Why not? We're having a good time here. I've chosen a few games. If you guys have a game you want me to maybe to make a pick on, if I don't have it, I can't do it. I mean, I'm not going to. I don't throw a dart, but if I have any lean here, I mean, leans for me are plays. All right, McNeese is taking on Santa Clara. Santa Clara is a 5.5-point favorite. McNeese comes in a win here over Cal Baptist. Wait a minute, did they really play Cal Baptist? Remember when McNeese was the flavor of the month every month last year? No, they played Champion Christian here in the first game. Did McNeese and won 127-65. Oh no, I'm sorry. Okay, they played California College of Biblical Studies, I believe. Here. Oh no, that
urgent message.
Okay, the Ken Palm's a little screwed up, so I'm not sure, but I think they did beat that team. I'm not sure if that one might not have counted in their actual standings. I think that the game they played against Champion Christian was on November 3rd, according to Ken Palm. So they may have played the California College of Biblical Studies here on this road trip. I didn't do enough investigating on that, but nonetheless, they are playing Santa Clara here on the road. The McNeese, it's all screwed up on Ken Palm right now. I've not seen this, so kind of maybe you guys can help me out here. This is gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to run through my computer actually to get the pick here now. All of a sudden, probably should have just ended the show. Let me just run it through the computer, and then let's get out of here. I mean, can only screw this preview up so bad. All right. And, yeah, I'm going to take the under in this one with McNeese and Santa Clara. No, I don't know if I have a good enough handicap here. I'm just going to ride with the numbers here so far. I'm pretty sure Santa Clara does not have a game yet. They beat Cal Poly Humboldt. They beat Humboldt 83-53 in the opener. So give me the under here in this one at 151 now. There's been a move. 151. I knew it. I like the under 151. McNeese Santa Clara, apologies for the crappy preview there. And let's see here. Mike almost hit those big parlays. Greg says he has a pick right there. 79. Mr. Wesker, we'd preview all the EuroLeague games with Mr. Weskers, and we're having a line move here on Musetti, it sounds like right now. Musetti, $1.35 here, about ready to go in that Sabalenka and Nisamova match. I see the move there on Sabalenka. All right. And let's see. Third set for Pagula and Rabakina, and Lerner TN plays as well. The show's over, you guys. Thank you for a great time. And really enjoyed it. And let's go ahead and run the drawing here right now and see who's going to win 1 month of plays from me. If you don't want to listen to me all day, why not have me send you a text or something like that here every day with more plays? I've already sent it out with 7 plays, and I think I might. I don't know if I'll have an update or not. Okay, let's do the drawing. Thanks, everybody, for joining me on the show. Go over to winnable.com/Ramon and get my plays over there for the action here today at winnable.com/Ramon. You get my plays, Jeff plays, Mike's plays, and it keeps supporting us here on the channel. This is how you support me here on the channel. I'm going to deal with the sports betting brothers. I get to do this great show here with you guys every day and get to share their audience, our audience, the sports money audience every day. But this is what I'm doing here. Hey, a lot of my betting involves arbitrage and all. I wish I could just pick all winners all the time, but sometimes behind the scenes, got to do what it takes to keep the show going and make sure that I don't have to go out there and fling the cards around again. But I would if I had to, but don't have to, because you guys are doing a great job keeping me fed, keeping me happy over here at the Sports Money Network. So please consider subscribing and use the promo code STEAM. It's 41 cents a day when you subscribe with winnable.com.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Let's do the drawing here right now and get ready. And who's our top chatters today? Greg was number 1. Terrell was number 2. 9 Legacy number 3. Cash Kane 4. Chosen 1-5. Bobby Max 6. Timmy Choo 7. And we had Irish King up there. Mr. Weskers up there as well. Just a great job from everybody today. I kept you too long. Mike was up there too. Here's the drawing. Use the promo code WINNER. 40 of you commented today. No wonder we had a long show. Flea Mathis, Ken Mizrahi, Jim Deweiger, M. the Great, Joe W. The winner is Action Jackson. Yes. Action Jackson gets another month added on to his subscription. Action Jackson. Let me know if I miss it there, but I want to get you your subscription here. And if not, go ahead and subscribe and use the promo code WINNER. That'll get you 1 free month there. Join the Win Club. That way, when Mike and Jeff and I say, hey, we had that winner on the Win Club, that's what we're talking about. That means I had the winner over there on winnable.com. Not something we gave out on the air, not something we, sent out as a free pick or whatever. It's the picks that are on the Win Club with me here. And that's what I do is really put my best picks over there at winnable.com. And hey, I think we already had, like we said, a couple of winners here already. We said we won with Novak, right? It's already been graded. Let me bring myself up here.
System play.
And there we whoop. Hello. This is the longest show ever. Thanks to me here. It's Halloween. It's oh boy. We'd be out of here if I could figure out how to control the buttons a little bit. But anyway, the winner already came in on Novak. There you see we had the winner right there. This high-tech graphics that we have here are me holding up a phone on the screen. So glad no crazy calls came in. All right, it's going to do it here for the morning steam. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific with Morning Steam. Mike, you get you ready for the primetime action at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific today with pre-gaming. Don't forget, check out MMA picks from VB, MMA picks, as we get you ready for the weekend action here with our coverage of UFC Las Vegas this week. We've got that main event. Ooh, we got steam here real quick to get you out of here. How about that? Main event here, Bonefim and Brown, plus First Strike is up as well. I've already tweeted out on my feed, so make sure you're checking out First Strike. Get those winners ready for our coverage on Saturday. All right. Hey, some steam just came in right now here just seconds ago, and it was Georgetown in that game against Maryland. Georgetown was getting 7.5 when I bet it. I try not to say those, I got it win, but sometimes I just spit it out, and I went pretty big. But it wasn't a play because the line didn't move by the time I got to do anything. And now the Georgetown play, which I got at 7.5. What is it now? It's got to be down to 4.5. 4.5 moved to Georgetown here in their game against Maryland. The steam came in there on Georgetown for sure just a few moments ago while we were doing the commercial. All right. Oh, God. How embarrassing. Oh, boy. We got to get rid of those. I mean, it's only November 7th. Okay. That's going to do it for the morning steam. We'll see you tomorrow. Really appreciate it. Be back here. And for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. Ramon Scott. Sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to